Good, good evening from Yummy B TV. Wishing you all well, sending splendid love to you once again today. Sorry to be pestering you all today. This is the third time I've been up. Happy days, eh? No, right. I think I gave you some wrong information the other day about Matt Legg, my bestie, one of my besties on YouTube. You know who my favourites are by now, right? Now, the other day on the live, I said to you that I believe that Matt Legg was doing that 9-day show for that TV program thing, right? That I was going to be involved in a few weeks ago until we knew what happened during that time. So for one reason or another, I didn't go on there. All right, but I thought when you lot was messaging me, you were saying, "Yeah, we miss Matt Legg. What's going on? We miss him. We love him. Such a good man." And da 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 da. I presumed because the last time I spoke to Matt like a month or so ago, he was getting ready to go on the show. So I thought automatically during those 9-10 days while that program was taking place, I thought that Matt was on the program. So that's what I told you. But the reality is, right? Now listen, Matt's going through what all of us have gone through. With us, with the so-called checkered past, right? With the social media thing, the moments of weakness, you know what I mean? The suddenly questioning and doubting the journey and what's on offer and that kind of stuff, you know, reflecting and being hurt by certain things. Like I'll give you a brief thing with what he says now. He's feeling down, so he's going to be back, right? But he's feeling down, so he says, "But Yami, how come people come up on that YouTube and there's nothing but negativity with name calling and this and that, and they get the views, and I like to put out positive stuff with a great message and da 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 da." A moment of doubt, Matt Legg, right? Because you're looking at, because whatever way we look at it, the world that we live in, it seems like people prefer to hear all the drama and the hateful stuff and the sexual kind of names being called left, right and centre, and they pick up views no matter what and all that. It's up to them. I don't really care. It doesn't really interest me, to be honest. But Matt questions whether, you know, sometimes, but he's got so much love, so much to give, so much experience. A man that was used by many a big name in the past. Lucky he only done little bits of prison time, Matt Legg, right? One of the most sweetest men that you'll ever meet. We all know that. But then also the fact that comments that come in, which some call them trolls, I just call them people that got an axe to grind, or people that just don't want to see people doing well, or people that are misreading what's being said in the videos, or whatever. Everybody, whatever way you look at it, is human behaviour. There's no need to be nasty about things. But some men will take it to heart. Remember when I first started and I used to come up here and all of you say, no, let them say that. Don't respond, and it doesn't mean nothing. You've got 1,000 good messages and there's only 2 bad ones. For your life that's not really that bad at the end of the day. You're wrong and this and that, you're junkie. Oh, shut up, man. But poor old Matt, you know, we're fighting men like the Inquirer, Matt Legg. They take things, they get a bit, it's a Danny Christie too, you know, it's all a fighting men, they get a bit funny, they don't like listening because, you know, they wear their hearts on their sleeves. None of us are without sin, or none of us are without issues and problems. It don't matter how well things have been going on YouTube for all that time, and then you were sailing up and we're gassed and we're happy, it's all love and everything, but even when things seem to be going really well, there's been moments when I've believed that it ain't. You see what I mean? Because it's what you tell yourself. I have to laugh at it all sometimes. It hardly bothers me anymore, man. Make sure I get my dinner tonight and shut off. But I'm really happy at the moment anyway. But he's such a lovely man, Matt Legg. You know what I mean? Like the Inquirer, they're proper real. But the comments, when people disagree, that's all right with people's opinions when they put it, you know, I don't agree with that. But when people are being nasty and all that, I don't really care no more. You know what I mean? Because it only bothers you if you let it. You know what I mean? So one down day and it could cause you to use or do this and do that. We've been through so many stages. Poor old Matt, everything's going well for him, but he can't see it, can he? Because I know I've been through that bit as well. You know, he'll be back. He'll be back, and he'll be back better than ever before. The main thing is don't concentrate on what others are getting out of so-called negativity and name calling and this and that and all that. And then here it doesn't really matter. Everything in the end will run its course. It doesn't matter. There's only so much people. I'm absolutely surprised to see so many similar talks over the last year and a half, but yet people still tune in and listen. Is that the world that we live in? Golden Bennett, man. You know what I mean? What, stay in your own lane. Deliver the message that we set out to do. Deliver what the making amends for the life that a lot of us led. The whole purpose of it is you can't be knocked back and being able, because they say a bad word or this and that means that that's going to take you off your path and your journey of what you stand for, of what you come. And there's many, many, many that love men like Matt Legg, me, and the Inquirer, and Danny Christie, and many much more than hate. So, you've got to come to terms with that. But ultimately, the message will always be the reason why we deliver these things. It's good to feel the love. There's no doubt about that. Don't get carried away with the attention. I got sailed away in the first year and a half and two. I was getting pulled left, right, and centre everywhere and got destroyed. Right? So we learn, live and learn. But it's the more of a case of what we tell ourselves. Those are the facts, because we can be our own worst enemies, especially when there's nothing to worry about or feel bad about, because ultimately nothing in the end is supposed to take you off from your path of what you set out to do. For the audience you've got, you please them. You've got many in there. That's what it boils down to. You know what they like. They've been standing by you. You stay loyal, stay true. Our channels, the ones I'm talking about now, are not really based on negativity and darkness and that kind of stuff. There's not really there's not no skeletons in the kind of way that some of the people out there who supposedly have those things. We haven't really got those, those kind of issues. So look at it as a plus. You might feel that people are getting better views than that for negativity and darkness and saying all the wrong things. But as long as you know in your heart what you're saying is for the better of mankind and your audience and the public in general, where somebody gets something positive out of what you're doing and saying and clarifying things, with the ultimate truth from times gone by and the life that we led. Now, the other question quickly I'm going to answer is Ben Hatchet. Now, I don't necessarily agree with kicking Ben Hatchet while he's down. He's a young kid, been through a traumatic life. I'm not really happy that he's fighting in the ways that he's fighting. I believe that he gets too emotional. I don't think he fights on emotion in the wrong frame of mind. Can have a little row, Ben. Kicking him when he's down, I don't necessarily agree with, right? Uncle Yami puts his arm around his shoulder and says, I'd rather tell him, but he's his own man at the end of the day. And I do not believe that he would ever throw a fight. No, 100% I don't. What it boils down to with Ben is very, very insecure in certain little ways, but he's a very good-hearted little boy. Remember, he's been through the tribes and tribulations. Remember the journey that young Ben's been on. He gets taken in by it all, but all this stuff that goes on in fights, and I can only see as being kind of damaging for him in the long run. I have to be honest with you, and Uncle Yami says his heart goes out to Ben Hatchet. He's resilient. Ben will be able to bounce back. He's got many other skills apart from a fighting, Ben. When he was doing what he was doing without the fight, and as far as I was concerned, he was doing even better. He was doing better. You know what I mean? By being the likability, the charming, cheeky chappy, all right, he's made some mistakes. Everybody from that life is going to make mistakes. Gordon Bennett, man, you know what I mean? You get frustrated, you live such a bad life, and you're in the mixed thick of it, and then you're suddenly thrown into, the big audiences and that and kind of thing, and you get misconstrued and misled by what it all means. You know what I mean? So, no, I don't agree that they should be kicking Ben Hatchet while he's down. But what Uncle Yami says is that I just wish that period that he's going through there, he gets away from it all, because there's much more positive message to come out of him from the life story that he's already brought to the table. Not so much the fighting thing. I don't think it does him any good. That's my personal opinion. and I won't back down from there. So sending loads of love to you. Just about to get picked up for dinner. I've got to do the Jason Moore video. That miscarriage of justice is absolutely appalling throughout my whole life history. I've never seen a case like that. Wait till I bring this to the table, delivered by Uncle Yami. Different to what everybody has delivered so far. You wait for it, you know. It's my cup of tea. We don't like people rotting away in there. They've never done nothing, let alone never even had a fight in their life or gone to prison before such a major incident. Real deep stuff. Love you all. See you soon.